Guys, welcome back once again to Red Blow Gaming. Today we are looking at some basing. As you can probably tell, there is a Commander and a Crisis Suit both based right now. Could probably do a couple of other bits and pieces. I've got to hit that with no oil. Base the old missile drone and hit it with a second coat of Brain. Wow, second coat of Black Templar. But right now, what we're gonna do is find one of my lovely painting trays, which, as you can tell, has a lot of colours on it. Definitely needs a clean. Definitely need to clean my desk up slightly so I can get my wet palette back up here, so I can put white paint on my wet palette and not feel like I'm wasting 5 gallons of white paint. But seeing as I have got some white paint on that right now, we are going to get into this at 100 mile an hour, and we are going to get these grooves painted so that so that I can move on to making sure, and what I will do, probably not put my mouth over that one, but I'm going to grab the old, the age-old earbud thingo and just try and wipe the excess white off, like so. Flip sides, I think I'm going to need a couple of them. I've only got one out of the box. Flip sides, get the same thing done on this side, because we have 3 arm guns to do and 3 shorter guns to do, but we will get this done at 100 miles an hour. But the point of the matter is that I want to get it done quickly. Get that one out of my face and we'll move to the next arm gun. And this actually is probably the best way to do it. I'm actually moving along pretty quickly currently. It's nice and cold up here at the Red Blur Gaming Studio, so the heater is on in the house, or said studio, and it is lucky that's down there. Same deal. Let's get the white off as best we can. Change sides and rinse and repeat as much as we can in there. All this white, lovely. So that when look at that, 2 down, 1 to go. That's the type of efficiency I am talking about. Whoops, way out of lines there. It's not exactly what I was attempting while I was trying to get as much of this in the hole as quickly as possible. Definitely not the plan. Oh. Luckily I have one more who can help me get. I might have to put some black back over the top of that, but it is what it is. Let's quickly, because again we are losing a little bit of colour out of, a little bit of moisture out of that white because of the heater. It's drying quite quickly, so we'll quickly get that done as best we can, and there we go, boom. Now while I've got that white there, I actually got a couple of models I dinged the... Oh, yes, it was these ones. I dinged areas where I had gone over the line. Not him. This one. Which means just getting in underneath that section there. And getting some touch-up white done in a few spots. Which will allow for, there we go, there's a nice big one actually, that's what I was looking for. There we go. Touched up the issues where I thought I had some. But that then there allows me to, oh actually no, oh well, I'm going. Because we are talking about touch-up issues, we just need to touch up a few spots on the barrels of this gun, which will actually make my terrible painting look a hell of a lot sharper. As you can see, I went over the line slightly in a few spots, but the ability, to fix those slight mistakes up, it's quite handy. There we go. Fixed that mistake. That means I can get away from using that white. Well, it'll dry out in 10 minutes and I'll deal with something else. But I will, gonna jump into, which one was it? This one? Oh, it's real heavy on the top there. We'll just quickly pop this up and grab some like contrast paint and just try and need a little bit more, I think. There we go. Just try and sort out some of this over spillage of the white without really doing anything crazy. As you can see there, just try and trim it back slightly so that it doesn't, oh, it's run into the, of course it did, too much on the brush. I was trying to be too delicate. Just want to get rid of some of that white on the front there. Just return it back to somewhat the base colour. But got a little bit over the top there, so that's fine. Sorted. So now I guess we go back in, because we have got a little bit of dryness again from the heater. Let's go back in with our second round of black on all of these feet / legs up to the point where we had stopped painting because we were worried about spilling over the edge. But you know, just makes us human. Just makes us human. across there, in the gaps there. We won't really hit that shin so much, and then we'll move into the next one. Same deal across the legs, boom. There was a whole spot there where I'd missed completely. It's the worst part of it, when you start going run the brush around and you're like, hang on, I missed an entire section, yay. And this will just allow us some time for those white sections on the guns to dry before we run in with the blue, which is a blue to my left, which I might bring into view shortly. No, I think I put, no, it's in front of me. Just hidden by other stuff because I've moved models around on the desk today just to figure out where everything is going. And we have move on to the next leg, and this will be lots of legs with I won't call it lots of legs, because we still have to go through with the smaller detail brush and get some of that smaller stuff where the big brush that I'm using, even though it's not really that big, won't get into, because it makes a goddamn mess when you're trying to hit certain areas and you're like, oops, I've pushed black across half the machine. And then you stick the brush too deep in the black, too deep into the black Templar pot and come out with 3/4 of your brush black, and you're like, oops, no, to clean that, which I'm actually due to do. I think my brushes need a clean. I haven't done it for a couple of days. Oh well, a couple of days I should say, since the last time I painted, which would be over a week ago. So they definitely didn't get cleaned last time, but they do tend to get cleaned, and that's one thing I will say. Make sure you clean your brushes regularly. Try and do it after every painting session. You will love life more if you do. They're a hell of a lot easier to use if you have. Oops, throwing him away. Hell of a lot easier to use if you have. It makes life so much better. So much better. But we've got 3 over there. That's for the other models that are in front of me. And yeah, we're moving along nice and quickly, nice and purposefully, which I prefer and enjoy. I've got to do some more white, which will mean another good clean of that off camera, which will mean another good dosing of white, and that will be, well, I guess we switch into the smaller brush for the black maybe. Or am I skipping out on some stuff because well, actually I do need to get the white back out so I can touch up a few bits and pieces anyway. Those arms need a touch up where I went over the top with the colour. All right, now I think that I will attempt to inlay the blue. There is a couple of blues I will use. Here is the contrast blue. Again, I use a nice small brush, which gets a nice big dose on it so that it can get in that, get dipped in nice and deeply, and then we'll obviously try and clean it up slightly with pushing it around. And obviously once this is done, I can look at going ahead and dry brushing these with the silver just to finish off. Just to finish off the brush. Again. One down. 3 to go, but you know, throwing paintbrushes around. I definitely like the choice I made for inlaying on the plasma. Oh, not plasma, technically fusion, but I'm also using this blue on the ends of the plasma rifles also. When I get to that point, it will be the same colour. Do have plasma rifles on the back of it, broadside, which I did the same thing with. Run the blue in, brushed it off as best as I could with a Q-tip without trying to make too much of a mess, and then hit the, which again, black and close for a second. I don't want that to, well, it was just fun, wasn't it? I just blued the entire bloody model there. I'll go over that with. Well, all models are actually done, so that's can go away for a second, and we'll gonna have to bring that white back out just to see if there's anything in it still. It's a slight smidgen, just to clean up where I got a little bit crazy. Accidentally blued a whole bloody section of white model, which not ideal. But again, as I said yesterday, today, recently I've been discussing, you know, the time length of videos, and I want them to be easy to watch, easy for me to upload, not overly dense or thick or heavy. So we'll call that the end of that video, or the end of this video, and I'll get on with the next one. But as per normal, give us a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and please return, keep in contact, and let me know what you think. Bye for now.